What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Off the Ball podcast with me, your host, Chris LeBron. And on today's show, I got another NBA draft profile prospect show, and I know you guys have been really into this, so I'm happy to have my guest on today, former SMU Mustang, Isiaha Mike. Isiaha, what's going on, my man?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. So how have you been able to handle this whole, quarantine and not be able to, hoop as much as you probably would have?
It's been tough, man. The very first thing I did when I got back home was buy one of those outdoor nets from Walmart. There was no way I wasn't doing no basketball at all. So I definitely had to get one of those. Got to get some shots up, work on the form, do a little bit of ball handling, something to stay active. Yeah. But it's been cool to get a break from basketball a little bit, being nonstop for a few years, Get some time to recollect my thoughts, chill with family. So it's been a blessing in disguise.
Okay, that's good. Did they take down like the hoops where you from?
Yeah.
They took because I knew, like I said, like we said before, I'm from New York City, and you know how basketball is over here, man. And you just see them take down the hoops, and that's like depressing to see. Like you can't even like they really want to really put down this social distance. Like you can't even hoop, and that's big time because everyone loves the hoop, but when they take down the hoops and sometimes they even like lock the nets, so you can't even they'll take the nets down and then they'll lock up the top of the rim. So like you can't even if you look at a hoop and you get it happened to me a few weeks ago. I looked at a hoop. I'm like, oh, we got a hoop, so let's ball. Got a bunch of people. And then we look at it, and it's locked on the top.
Damn.
I was like, oh, I got teased us. That's why. I'd rather not even see the hoops. At least I can know, all right, don't even bother.
But not even get your hopes up, right?
Yeah, I got my hopes up. We ready. I'm like, all right, you on this team. And then we get ready to shoot to who got first. And then you can't even shoot. Like it's blocked off.
Tough.
So that sucks. But I like I said, man, I'm happy you're on the show. So I want to get into, obviously COVID, struck and pretty much ended, college basketball for you. So just talk to me. I talked to a lot of guys that have had on the show about how that happened. A lot of you guys were in your conference, getting ready for conference tournaments. So just talk to me about when did you find out and just your instant reaction from you and your team.
Well, it started to get serious a couple of days before our conference tournament. I think we were one of the last ones to play to the AAC. But everything was good up until the day of the game, actually. We were going to play without fans because they ruled that we were just going to play without fans, and family would be the only ones that would be able to be in the arena. Since it was such short notice that they were making the announcement. But the day of the game, they told us that they're just going to cancel it. And it was tough. It was tough because we ended the season on a pretty bad skid. But with the practices that were before the conference tournament, we felt like we were working on the things we needed to work on to make a run and win it, because we've shown that we were capable of being at the top of the conference many times. We actually finished. I'm pretty sure we finished first in offensive efficiency, and first in field goal percentage, free throw percentage, assist to turnover ratio.
That's good.
We had a squad,
and that probably upsets you even more because you guys you doing all that stuff, and to get the opportunity to showcase that in the tournament, in the conference tournament, I'm sure you were like, damn, man.
But it is what it is, though. Everything happens for a reason. So I know that whatever's in store for us going forward is going to be bigger and better.
Yeah. So you decided to declare. Did you have any thought process of, man, the way this season ended, maybe going back at it and seeing how, what we can do for next season? Or did you pretty much think, all right, I'm definitely going to try to see what I could do in the league?
It's been a tough decision-making process, honestly, because of the uncertainty that comes with this Corona stuff. For the longest, the NBA was even debating if they were going to come back to playing. You don't even know when the college basketball is going to come back and play. Like, they're talking about January now, and we don't know how long it's going to continue to get pushed back as cases and stuff keep popping up. Overseas is starting to play now too, but
I've seen that.
But like I said, man, we had a squad. We have a squad. We would have had everybody coming back except for one guy, and like we were loaded. So a championship has definitely been on the forefront of my mind ever since I've started playing basketball. I've always wanted to be considered the best, you know, and I've put the work in to try and achieve that, and I'm going to continue to put the work in to try and achieve that. So when it came to the end of the year, I didn't know what to do. Like I knew I wanted to put my name in for sure, and see what these teams are saying, like see what I need to work on, maybe if they're willing to take a shot on me, and also like navigate financially what's best for me and my family, because I just recently had a son. Last year, just turned
congratulations.
1. Congratulations. I appreciate that. So it's not just me anymore.
That changed. Yeah, man. I got 2 kids, so I know that feeling.
You know what I'm saying?
You get kids, everything changes.
So like the dreams of winning a championship are still high for me. You know, like that's definitely something I want to achieve. But my son definitely took precedent over that alone being the goal. You know, because there's a lot of other factors that come into play that I have to think about now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. It's been tough.
Yeah. So when you go through that process, are you when you're looking at like, all right, should I go pro or not? Are you just saying, okay, I believe I'm a pro player, or are you listening to your coaches? Are you listening to, you know, the scouts who are telling you, oh, you could probably go here, you could probably go here, first round, second round, wherever? How are you basing your? I know you have your kid, but what are the reasons are you basing your decision off that?
Well, I've always felt like I've had the ability to play in the NBA. But I do think that it's important to listen to people who have seen generations of basketball players come through. You know, it's very important, and that's actually a part of the process. Like, you submit your name, and teams come back to you to tell you where you're gonna land. So I definitely do think that taking their feedback into account is a huge part of it, because it can set you up. It can either hurt you or help you, depending on if you listen to it or not, you know?
Yeah.
But I do think that self-confidence is definitely the stepping stone to all of it, because without it, then you wouldn't even have an opportunity to prove yourself if you get the chance, you know? So I do think that I have 100% confidence and faith in my abilities if I get the opportunity. But like you said, like, man, it's tough, especially when they tell you that, you know, you're not gonna land where you would expect to land, like because your confidence is so high, you know. But it's definitely a pill you have to swallow, and something you have to take into account and be realistic with yourself. But at the same time, don't be afraid to take a chance on yourself.
Yeah. You got to do a little bit of both. I guess you got to do a little bit. Be confident that, okay, I could play it there, but also, like you said, listen to other people that have been evaluating and doing this for their whole lives and know how this works. So that's definitely smart that you took that approach. But let's rewind it back a little bit. Let's go back to high school and just talk about, you know, growing up in Canada, because you're from Canada, right?
Yes, sir.
So just talk about the basketball scene out there, because it feels like the last decade, like the basketball in Canada has really took off. Like, you got Andrew Wiggins was the number 1 pick, Tristan Thompson, you know, you got Anthony Bennett was the number 1 pick. You got some hoopers. You got hoopers, and just talk about the evolution of that and how that, you know, from when you were growing up till the last few years, the evolution of Canadian basketball.
Well, for me personally, I didn't start playing basketball seriously until like 15.
Oh, so you were late bloomer. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was always around the game, you know, playing in the park, playing in PE, playing at recess, but I was never great. Like, I was never good. I was just always just tossing it up, losing the ball.
Okay.
You know, but I finally started to take it serious around 15 with my AAU coach. He took me under his wing and showed me what it was like to grind. You know, I didn't know what it was to grind. I was just out there having fun. So he pushed me. It was tough, man. It was really tough. But I definitely think that's probably the biggest part of it is, well, firstly, the American basketball is it's gritty. It's tough. It's hard nosed. Like
we take it serious over here.
Serious.
It's serious. Especially like since AAU is taking like at another level where it's like, you know, you get sponsored by Nike, Adidas, all these big time shoe companies. It's different. Was that the same out there, like the AAU scene by you? Was it as hardcore?
Kind of, but not really, because we would need to come to America anyway to play on the circuit, right? So either way, we'd have to bump into a lot of American talent, right? So I definitely think that it starts with the misconception that Canadians are soft.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there are soft people from everywhere.
I
So,
mean, Americans are soft too, bro. I mean, you watch the league, bro. Just how many guys are soft? Like you see complaining about everything. Come on, James Harden's complaining about everything. Come on, there's a whole bunch.
I'm not gonna comment on none of that. I'm not commenting on none of that.
I'll say it for you. You don't gotta say it. I know you might have to deal with them in the league, so I'll say it. There's some guys like Harden from occasion can be, but there's some Americans could be soft too, So,
but I definitely do think that mindset towards us, like, puts a chip on our shoulder for us to work even harder when it comes time to put that work in, I've watched RJ
too, man.
for a while now. I don't know him personally, but bumped into him in a couple of camps, and he was always playing up, always getting working with older guys, always getting shots up, always working on ball, always, you know what I'm saying? It's just the focus to knowing what you want, like, you can stack up against the best competition in America. So why not push yourself and continue to work day in and day out to continue to prove that you're not only as good as them, but arguably better. I definitely think that it would be a commonality among all the elite Canadians that have come out of the city and out of the country. Kelly Olynyk, he's disgusting. Like, Andrew Wiggins is disgusting. Tristan Thompson went through such a transformation in his career. He came in as a lefty, and I was in the gym with him the year he changed his release to his right hand. Like, for you to put in enough, all the work to switch your dominant shooting hand,
that takes a lot of work, man.
But do you see what I'm saying? Like, the attention to detail to wanting to be great.
Yeah. RJ Barrett too. Like you said, RJ too, man. RJ's.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's among the elite Canadians, the group of elite Canadians, even Jamal Murray. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Jamal Murray's another one. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He keeps getting better and better.
But I'm telling you that's the one thing that is consistent among all the elite Canadians, all the elite guys. Period. Is the work. Is the work. Are you dedicated to the work? Are you dedicated to the grind? Are you dedicated to the pain that it's going to take to receive all the glory,
Yeah, for sure.
So all the kids that are coming up now, we have a lot of good examples.
Yeah.
I think there's 110 Canadians in the NCAA this last year, something like that, along those lines.
Yeah.
Keep growing too.
Yeah.
Keep growing.
That's crazy, man. Like I said, that the Canadian scene for hoops is definitely, and then you got RJ. Like I said, I'm a Knicks fan, so seeing RJ Barrett and seeing and I'm a Duke fan too, so I've been on the RJ train for a minute. So I love seeing his progression, and he just seems like he's got that man body. It feels like he's been a pro for years already because he's just got that mindset. So I'm sure you've seen that with him and his progression, and hopefully he becomes that, because he looks like he's probably going to be, the next, he's going to be a good one for sure.
Giannis with a jumper. I'm calling it from now.
Giannis with a jumper. Okay. I hope so. I hope so for me and my fellow Knicks fans have been we've been sad of late. So hopefully RJ is our guy. We're rooting for him big time. We want him to be great so bad. So hopefully he takes that step. But so who did you look up to growing up? As who are your guys?
I wear number 15 because of Melo, man.
Melo, hoodie Melo, bro. Yeah,
Come on now.
Melo's another New York legend over
Come
here.
on now. That's the GOAT.
Yeah. So you're a big-time Melo guy. What do you love about his game?
His ability to get that shot off from anywhere, man.
He's quick release, man. Yeah.
Sniper. His mid-post work is, oh, my goodness. Young Melo with the braids and the headband. Good grief.
Denver Melo was special. I mean, he was one of the few people that gave LeBron problems. And LeBron would tell you Kobe too. He gave them. Kobe always say who's the toughest person to guard? He's Melo, because he's just a dog. He's a bulldog. And I don't think people appreciate it, because he did. As in, being in New York, we didn't have the success, especially after that, that 2012 year. So people kind of forgot how good Melo was. And sometimes you got to bring it back. You don't realize how good and he still can do it. He may not be as athletic and as quick, but he could still, bully you. He bullied Zion on that. He did a nice boom, a fadeaway on Zion. And he was let him know, I still got this, man.
That. I
still got this. So, Melo was were you upset when he changed his number though to 7?
Not really. 7 is a great number too. It was my favorite number before 15. I only like 15 because I could wear it in basketball, and Melo was wearing it. So I like 7 too. It's Melo. I'm not the number don't make it.
You gotta stay Melo, man. Stay Melo, man. Yeah. Melo's that guy, man. I wish you would have done more. They didn't give him enough help in New York, man.
What? That 2012 team was stacked.
Yeah, and then they just, for some reason, when Steve Mills came, he kind of messed up the whole flow of the team, and then it hasn't been the same since, man. But I just want to see Melo succeed, man, because I love, I even love when he was in Denver, even when he brawled with us, the fight. Do you remember that fight they had?
No.
There was a brawl. It was oh God, I forgot the point guard's name, but I think he went to Temple, but I can't think of his name, and he had a foul. Denver was up by 30. You can watch it on YouTube. They have it. They were up by 30, and J.R. Smith was trying to go for this is prime J.R. Smith. He went for a dunk, and he got fouled hard. And then it was a whole big brawl. Nate Robinson got into it, and then Melo had sucker punched Marty Collins. There you go, Marty Collins. He sucker punched Marty Collins, and it was a whole big brawl. It was crazy. It was crazy. Jesus. So for 5 minutes, I hated Melo for a little bit, and then when he came to New York, I was like, all right, I forgive you. You're on my team now. So talk about high school. You said you're late. You started 15, 16 years old. So just talk about your high school career, and then when did you realize, I can, I'm getting. You see yourself getting better, and when did you realize, okay, I'm I think I could play at the college level.
It's interesting because I didn't start playing high school basketball until my junior year. I competitive basketball for me started on the AAU scene with my AAU coach, and that's actually what propelled me to play in some pretty high competition high school basketball in the States. I went to Trinity International in Las Vegas, and we had a pretty stacked squad out there too. But yeah, man, because everything was happening so slow for me, and I was late to basketball, I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't playing for a college scholarship. I didn't know. I was just playing because
you're just playing the ball, right?
It's what I love to do. I watched 1 year of March Madness prior to starting playing basketball. I only watched NBA games when it was the Raptors playing. I just love to play the game. I was never really a student of the game.
So you didn't fully understand March Madness and how big it is in the States over here, because it's crazy over here.
No. I didn't understand any of it. I was just working and grinding and playing my game, and see what comes of it. And eventually I started to gain interests from colleges and eventually offers from some low mid majors. And yeah, man, it was I to tell you the truth, I never really believed it until I went on my first official visit to Oklahoma. I went on that visit and I was like, whoa, big time.
That's big time. That's big time.
They were willing to pay for my college education, and I get to play basketball. Whoa, this is live.
That's
what?
Crazy. Yeah.
What? So yeah, man, it was tough. Because I was so late. I struggled with confidence. I used to struggle with confidence a lot, because sometimes I wouldn't measure up to some of the better guys, and I just didn't know if I could play or not. I would just go hard and play hard, So, yeah, man, I'd say the Oklahoma. Oh, the
that
Oklahoma
was big.
visit was
That's
definitely
big time though. That's not just some regular school too. That's the University of Oklahoma. That's a big time school. So that must have been that's bright lights. So because they love their hoops down there. So when did you get that confidence? Would you think it was later in your junior year or your senior year when you finally felt like, okay, I could play with a lot of these big time guys?
I'd say my senior year. I started to go off, man. My high school coach at the time, his regiment was harder than my AAU coach's regiment, and he taught me so much. So combining both basketball minds and taking away bits and pieces from both of them and applying it to myself and using what works best for me, it caused me to have a crazy senior year. There's a stretch during that year I had like 3 40-point games, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can play against the top. I don't know if you remember who Kobe Paras is. He went to Creighton, I believe.
Sounds familiar.
He's from LA. He had a lot of hype around him, and we played them and we won. I had a really good game against them, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can do this thing.
That's dope. That's dope. So when did you start getting the offers and started to figure out, okay, all right, I might want to go here, or might go to there. When did the offer start coming and you started to figure out, okay, I got to figure out where I want to play?
Right before I started, I came to the States for high school. I had a blow up AAU tournament. Like, it was the first time I played really, really well. And I got my very first offer from Fordham University.
Oh, okay. Right in the Bronx, too.
Yeah, right there in the Bronx.
Yeah. My cousin went there.
That's what's up, man. And after that, a couple more A-10 schools followed up. And Duquesne offered me somewhere around that time, and I picked up some schools, some mid-low major schools from the West Coast as well. But Duquesne reached out, and the coaching staff there started building the relationship with me at first. So we built the best relationship, and I didn't really see myself going anywhere where I was going to sit on the bench. And I had the best relationship with Duquesne, so it was really a no-brainer, honestly. There were some other schools that were pushing as well, but I just felt the most comfortable going to Duquesne.
So so you choose Duquesne. Just talked about the transition from playing high school, but you're coming from Canada, you go to the States. Now you're playing, big time college basketball. Just talk about the transition from going from high school. Now you're going to, playing Major D1 basketball, and just I don't know. Did you feel like another, like your head the deer in the headlights? Like, oh my God, this is even now I'm taking another step up. So was that tough? That transition.
Not as hard as coming from Canada to America for high school. Because like I said, the regimen I went through once I got to Las Vegas, it was built to prepare you for college and for the mental challenges that will come beyond that. So at first my mindset going into college was like, okay, just earn your keep. Show them that nobody's gonna work harder than you. Nobody's gonna go harder than you. Nobody's gonna be more passionate than you. Like, the chip on my shoulder was real, man. It was real. I was fighting for a starting position with a grad transfer as a freshman. So it was a battle. Yeah. It was a battle every practice. Dude could shoot the lights out. His name was Kale Abrahamson. Dude could shoot the lights out, bro. I'm telling you, and my thing coming in is being able to score from all three positions, right? But if he's such an elite shooter, like I gotta guard up.
Yeah,
I can't let him bust me up every practice. Like, so it was a battle. I have a lot of scars around my mouth from catching elbows and busted lips, but man, it was worth it. It was all worth it. So the transition wasn't hard. The first game, I was so hyped. I had cotton mouth because I was
I could imagine. Yeah.
But I think that was probably the toughest part of the transition. And the physicality, of course, because I was a scrawny little dude. I didn't really lift weights seriously before going to college. So I'd say those two things: getting used to actually playing college basketball and getting physically strong enough to play the game.
Yeah. So just talk about that first year. I mean, you play. I mean, there's not a lot of freshmen that get to play, you played some big time minutes. So just talk about playing big time minutes as a freshman right away.
It was awesome, man. It's interesting actually how it happened, because there was a starter that was there when I went on my visit, and I assumed that he was going to still be there when I finally was enrolled, but a lot of space freed up, and like I said, it turned out to be a battle between me and my dude Kale. But yeah, the Coach Ferry had a lot of faith in me. He let me play through mistakes, and ultimately it allowed me to get comfortable, being able to just play my game and know that regardless, my coach has faith in me. He knows what I'm capable of. I've shown what I'm capable of. So it's just a matter of staying prepared and continuing the work and always being ready to capitalize on those minutes. It was awesome, man. It was awesome, honestly.
Yeah, and all that does is just help your confidence go more, because you can, I've interviewed some guys where they're not playing at all. They're playing, garbage time when, it's a 20-point, 25-point deficit, and that doesn't – playing garbage time minutes, the last minute of a game where you just really holding the ball or whatever, and, you're not going to get better at it. In your case, they gave you, 25-plus minutes a game and just said, go. And I'm sure, any freshman would love that,
Yeah.
But so – obviously, how tough was it to transfer, to have to, that decision to transfer? How difficult was that?
It wasn't honestly difficult at all, because the reason why I transferred is because my coaching staff got fired. So I didn't really want a chance getting caught up in this rebuilding.
Yeah, because they don't want their own guys there.
Exactly. Once the guys that he's going to recruit,
exactly. I
move down the line, and
exactly. Yeah.
I didn't want to chance that. So I'd rather go somewhere where the coach would want me, not just for that 1 year of rebuilding that he needs, that time in between. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to be a part of a team that I'm actually a part of the team.
Yeah, of course.
So it was easy. I knew right away. As soon as he got fired, I'm like, yep, I'll catch y'all on the field.
Okay. Did you go to a junior college, or did you have to sit out that year?
No, I just had to sit out that year.
Sit out the year. So how tough was that, having to sit out and wait? That's the worst part probably. You have to sit out, because those rules, those rules are kind of ridiculous. The whole you have to sit out, but coaches could leave whenever they want and stuff like that. That's I always don't. But how tough was that year, just having to wait? And were schools reaching out to you during that time, or was it during a later period that they were reaching out to you?
The schools were reaching out to me when I was going to transfer. That's when they all started calling and contacting my people. But once I committed to SMU, nobody came into contact.
Was that instant? Was that SMU like that's where I want to go?
No, not really. It was really between Oregon and SMU, my final two. But I went on my visit to SMU, and I don't know. I fell in love with it, man. It's like I've always been an underdog, right? So I don't know. There's something about going to Oregon that I don't want to say turned me off, because I would have loved to go to Oregon. That would have been it would have been a great situation either way. Either decision I would have made. But I just felt like personally, the SMU identity was mine.
Fit,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it just it felt right.
Yeah, the culture was good there.
Yeah, it was really good. SMU was going crazy. I don't know if you know who Nick Moore is, but
Yeah.
There was Nick Moore, Sterling Brown,
Sterling Brown, Milwaukee, right? Sterling Brown from Milwaukee. Okay.
Shemi Ojale.
Oh, Ojale. Yeah,
Oh no,
Ojale.
was he playing? I don't know if he was playing with Nick. I think he played the year after Nick left.
Okay.
But yeah, Shake Milton, Drake
Milk,
Foster.
yeah. We got hoopers.
I'm telling you, it's some that aren't getting the coverage that they should have been.
Yeah.
But dudes like Benjamin Amelagu, oh my God, he was at a point in time he was the best, statistically the best 3-point shooter in the country when his senior year, and he ended up hurting his wrist, and oh man, but there's some skilled guys, man. I got the opportunity to be around a lot of skilled guys and a lot of character guys as well. You know, sometimes you get guys that are caught up in that star mentality, because of ESPN rankings and
that ranking stuff is, you know, that's crazy. All that 5-star, 4-star.
Yeah. You know, so it was a great opportunity, man. But my transition, my redshirt year, oh man, that was tough. It was hard to have to sit down and watch these guys play. And
so you had to wait for the and then redshirt the year after.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had to wait 2 years.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Once I transferred after my freshman year, I sat out my sophomore year, and then I played my junior year.
Oh, okay. Got you.
So, yeah, having to sit out and watch these guys was like, it was tough because you want to be a part of this. Like, watching Shake go crazy, watching Dre catch lobs from above the backboard. Like, it's exciting. And then, boom, we get hit with injuries, and it's like everybody's down at this point. And it's like, damn, I wish I was able to play because, like, my team needs me at this point.
So that ate you up. I can imagine that just ate you up.
It was tough, man. Even not being able to play though, like practices, I would take practices so serious. Like we played defense for forever because I was on the redshirt team, right? I was on the scouting team, so my job is to prepare these guys for games. But it used to tick me off, man, because after playing 10 possessions straight on defense, and I at least get one opportunity to score, just one. But I, like, in retrospect, I realized that wasn't my role at the time. My turn would come, of course, and it did. But I wasn't thinking along those lines during that year. So it was a little bit frustrating, and a lot of my teammates and a lot of my coaching staff helped me with that adjustment period, for real.
That's good. So just talked about the growth from, you finally get to play at SMU for that first year to your last season at SMU, the growth you took as a player. Just talk about that.
I'd say I've improved statistically my percentages across the board since I've been in college. So I knew that was going to happen regardless because I already know the formula to performing. It's just putting in the work behind the scenes. That's all it is. But
and your percentages were great. I mean, 48%. I mean, I'm looking at you, 48%. You're shooting 37% for three. And you're a tremendous free throw shooter. So I mean, that's already, those are things that in the league they love. Efficient players.
Yeah, I do feel like I could have shot a lot better though. There's a lot of games where I didn't shoot well. There are a lot of threes that would rattle out. Like,
I mean, that's always gonna happen though.
Free throws that I miss, I'm not supposed to miss. Like, I feel like I should have shot 100% from the free throw line to be completely honest with you. Because, like, come on, bro. It's the free throw line.
Yeah. Well, what do you? All right. So let's talk about free throw, because it's crazy to me that a person in the NBA could shoot 40%. Like, I just never understood. I know it's not. I know it's a free throw and it's still not the easy shot, but you're shooting 85%, and I see guys are struggling big time. What is the main thing behind, becoming a good free throw shooter? Is it form? Is it just having a clear head? Especially when you're on the road, how crazy fans get in the road and not being distracted. What's the key to being a solid free throw shooter?
Honestly, it's reps. It's really reps, because once you get that feel, like you can close your eyes and shoot free throws once you get the feel of it all. But part of it is mental. It's a big part of it is mental, honestly. If you're locked in enough to tune everything else out and knock it down when there are 30,000 opposing fans screaming all kinds of crazy stuff at you. But it's really honestly reps. Once you've done it a million times and like the muscle memory is embedded in your body, it's like missing is a freak accident. But the guys that don't shoot very well, either for one don't have good mechanics and don't work on it, or just don't care to be good free throw shooters because of the other aspects of their game that keep them in the league. For a while, Capella was shooting underhanded, because that's where he would get his buckets, right?
They wanted Shaq to do that. Rick Barry wanted Shaq to shoot, and he's like, "Nah, that's bad for the brand."
Hell no.
But if you could, you know how many more points he would have had in his career if he would have, made a couple more free throws in his career? He'd probably be top 3 all time in points.
But see, he's not even worried about that. He'd rather dunk it on you than shoot free throws.
Yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, you're right, man. It's just sometimes it's mental with some guys, with free throws. But like I said, I just wanted to talk about, because like I said, it's crazy to see guys shooting in the 40s. Like if you're 60s, like even LeBron's like in the late, high 60s, 70s, but to shoot in the 40s and 30s, some guys are shooting 30-something percent. I mean, Ben Wallace in his prime was shooting like 30. I'm like, that's crazy. I know he's not a shooter, but still, that's just wild that someone could be that bad. That means, less than 50%. That means half, 50. You're not even a 50-50. Like you're less than 50% to make a free throw. That's crazy.
Honestly, I've said this so many times. Like, if I was that bad of a free throw shooter, I would just shoot it off the backboard. To be dead serious with you, or if I get a free throw opportunity late game and I'm like, I've never been to the free throw line before in those situations, and I'm like, I feel myself being nervous. I'm shooting it off the backboard. I don't care. I'm making sure it counts. I don't care what people say. Sure. It went in at the end of the day.
But that's all that matters. As long as if you Rick Barry it, if it goes in, it goes in. That's the point. You get 2 point, whatever. I don't know why people don't do it. I think because it just looks silly. But who cares if it goes in? Because if you have the perfect form and you're airballing it, that's worse.
That's facts.
Man. I just want to talk about that because bad free throws really irritate me. But so who in the league do you like? Who you try to emulate your game after? Is there anyone particular? I know you love. You said Melo before. You like?
Yeah, I love Melo.
Is there any guys in particular you try to take some moves from?
Paul George and Kawhi.
I see a lot of Paul George with you. Yeah, because you got the size too.
I appreciate that, man. And recently I've been watching a lot of defensive clips on Anthony Davis because he can guard everybody. So I've been trying to.
He's the best defender in the league. He's the best defender in the
league. Hands down. So I've been trying to take some techniques that I can pick up from watching him. I've been breaking film down with my AAU coach, so he's been pointing out a lot of things that he does and watching some of my film and seeing where I can apply those techniques that Anthony Davis uses to be such an amazing defender to my game. But yeah, if I take Paul George, a cross between Paul George and Kawhi, because there's times where I'm in a lot of spot-up situations on film, playing for SMU, and I'd say it was a little bit different at Duquesne, I'd say. I was still spot up and pick and pop and stuff. But it's at SMU it's I'm clean cut. I'm gonna get a bucket, kind of like Kawhi. Kawhi doesn't really do too much flashy stuff. He's straight to it.
Exactly.
He's straight to it.
But he's so strong too that he gets to get to wherever he wants to.
Exactly. And Paul George is the same, but Paul George likes to do a lot more creativity.
Yeah. He's a little bit more finesse than Kawhi.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For sure. And I that's why I say I'm a cross between the two, because I'm capable of doing some of the ball handling stuff that Paul George does, but a lot of times I don't. because the game is simpler. I shoot like coming from a Kauai approach, So
Yeah.
definitely
So,
those two things for sure.
so how do you know what to incorporate in your game and what doesn't work for you? How do you know, like I said, how do you know what to add and okay, I shouldn't do this so much, but I could do this, is it just watching more film? Is it just working in the gym and just seeing what works and what doesn't work?
It's both for sure. Film reveals mistakes and other things that you could have done in those situations, like countering left as opposed to continuing right, like little things like that. And being in the gym, it just gives you opportunity to rep it and recreate those things that you're seeing on film, to try and work on it and turn the weakness into a strength. So definitely, it's definitely a mix of both. You definitely need both for sure.
Okay, cool. All right, so how do you feel about the whole NBA situation? Everything going on with the bubble and obviously coronavirus is still, some guys getting affected. So how do you feel about the NBA return and just how that's going to look like? Because, there's days where they got the right solution and then, we get the next day is like, okay, this doesn't, we don't know if this is going to work. Guys got to stay in a bubble for, if you're a good team and you expect to go deep, you're going to be in the bubble for months,
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that everything going on in the league right now?
I think they're going about it as best as they can, right? The NBA is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and there are a lot of people that are on payroll because of the TV stuff. A lot of their money comes through the TV contracts, so they're going to need to make money somehow, right? But I do think the way that they're going about it is the best that they can, right? A bubble location, taking all the measures that they need to make sure that players are protected and preventing the spread of the corona. I do think that it's good. It's beneficial to everybody. Like, TV's been so boring without live sports, man.
Yeah.
I can't even find a good Netflix series.
I watched every Netflix series. I watched how many games from years ago. I can only watch the 2012 finals so many times, and Ray Allen shot. Like, I know exactly what he does on everything. Like, the way it's like you can only watch so many. Like, and I'll watch basketball whenever, but eventually it's like, okay, 2020 finals is on again. All right. I need some. Exactly. I was watching the tournament yesterday. You know how they have that basketball tournament? I was watching that. I was like, I need to watch something different because I'm tired of the same old stuff. So I get you on that.
Facts, for sure. But I definitely think that they're going about it as best as they can anyway.
Yeah. I mean, no one teaches you how to handle a pandemic. There's not in the NBA handbook, Silver was not, he didn't train to like, all right, this is how we deal with if a mass infection, affects a bunch of people, hundreds of thousands of people, They don't teach you that. They teach you how to deal with lockouts and salary cap issues and that. They don't teach you how to handle a virus and how to deal with that. So, he's doing, people I think expecting too much is like, you got to deal, they're doing as best as they can. You don't prepare for this, and so, as long as they take the right protocol, make sure they're athletes and their coaches and all the players. I think that's number one. I mean, like I said, I've seen people just say, I just want to see sports back. I was like, yeah, of course. We all want to see hoops back and stuff. But I also want to see these guys healthy and feel, have that sense of, like, okay, all right, I'm straight, I'm healthy. I can, I'll be good. I go back to my family and be good. You don't want that fear of playing and then, okay, man, once I'm done, damn, I got to go home and I got to quarantine. I can't be with my family, So I think that's one thing that people need to more realize, that safety is the number one thing, because you don't want guys, God forbid, pass it, because like I said, people have been dying from this. So safety is the number one thing. If they have all the right precautions and everyone feels good with it, and I think then I'm cool with hoops being back.
100%.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. So who you think's going to win it right now?
I would love for the Raptors to go back to back.
I'm not gonna lie. They lost Kawhi, and I'm like, I don't know, Kawhi, that's lost. I didn't think they would be as good. I thought they'd be a good team, bottom tier, playoff team. But I mean, they look just as good, and I think Siakam taking that next step has really helped them a lot too.
You know why I think this is my theory? Okay, I'm pretty sure that this is the case, but I don't know. You're up to debate for sure. Like, you're entitled to your own opinion. So I think that Kawhi coming and winning the championship with those guys that have stayed this year have given them the confidence. Like, okay, a championship is achievable. Like even though Kawhi gets all the credit for winning a championship, each player that was on that team like pulled their weight. Like they contributed significantly.
Big time.
You know? Like Freddie V was going crazy.
Yeah. He was probably the most he was the most important player, man, for everybody. He had some big time shots.
I'm telling you, Kyle Lowry went crazy. Siakam went crazy. You see what I'm saying? So it's like yes.
Especially against Milwaukee, Ibaka, Siakam, and Kawhi just building that wall to stop Giannis. Because you stopped Giannis from driving, especially last year where he didn't have that jump shot yet. You stopped him from going like foul line, you were gonna win. And that's what they did the last 4 games to win it because they were down 2-0. They did that, and that was a wrap. Like, Giannis didn't do anything.
Yeah, but I do think that them winning the championship gives them that reassurance. Like, you know what? We're capable of this. Like, we don't need nobody. At the end of the day, nobody can take this championship away from us.
Yeah.
So it's up to us to prove that we're incapable of winning it again. So I think that's the chip on their shoulder right now. I do think that they're really capable of surprising a lot of people. But my favorite right now is definitely the Lakers for sure.
Yeah,
LeBron has been having a crazy season.
Year 17, man. Year 17, and he's still playing at the highest of level. Like, it's crazy how good he's playing.
I'm going crazy, bro.
Going crazy. And AD's defensive player of the year to me. Like, I have him as no-brainer defense. That addition to him to go to the Lakers, I mean, that just helps LeBron so because LeBron, he's slipping a little bit, especially defensively, but AD makes up for anything. He blocks everything. He could guard 1 through 5. Like, he could guard point guards, like, and he's made a huge difference. So yeah, the Lakers, and it's the way they built Danny Green, Caldwell Pope. They just got everything. I had the Clippers winning it just because adding Kawhi, Paul George, and they have the most depth because they got Lou Williams going off the bench, Montrezl Harrell. I mean,
he's a monster.
They got some. Their bench is better than some people's starting lineups in the league. So that. So that had them, but injuries and that was kind of like it seemed like the chemistry wasn't as as crisp during the season. But I think, like I said, man, I think it's the Lakers, especially with obviously a fortunate passer to Kobe. It feels like it's just
it's just right?
It feels right for and I'm not even a Lakers. I can't stand the Lakers. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm sad that we can't win nothing, but it just seems destined that they definitely gonna. Win the championship. So it's going to be interesting to see. So before I let you go, I'm going to ask you a few quick questions and just run through them quick for me. When was the first time you dunked?
First time I dunked, I was like 9th grade.
9th grade?
Yeah.
It was in a game or just messing around?
No, I was pick up one of the older guys. Okay, so it was like a combined PE class. We had my freshman class and an older class with another PE teacher. We had gym at the same time, and we played pickup with the older guys all the time. And one of the older guys was like, "You can't dunk, bro." I'm like, "What?" Knowing I can't dunk, right? I know I can't dunk. I'm like, "What?" So I just tried to dunk, and then I dunked it. So that was the very first time I dunked.
Nice. What's your favorite Vince Carter dunk?
Ooh, there's so many.
I mean, there's you can go for days for Vince Carter dunks, but I know he's a Canadian. He's a Canadian legend, so you play for your Raptors. So
my favorite one actually wasn't even in a Raptors uniform. This is when Vince still had hair on the U.S. team when he cleared
Frederick Weiss. Yeah. The Knicks drafted him too the next year too. So that is disrespectful. I think that's the best dunk ever
of all time, right?
Has to be all time. He cleared a 7-footer. He cleared him, not just like hand on. No, he cleared him.
That was special.
Even the one on Alonzo Mourning was pretty. The one he goes behind, it bounces to the 3-point line. He goes behind the back, and then he dunks it, but he bounces off him, cocks it back, and then yams on Lonzo. That's another epic one.
He did it so easy.
It was so smooth. It was so smooth. It would have been fun to see him and T-Mac, if T-Mac stayed there and see how they would have worked that out. But
we would have had an early chip. We would have had an early chip.
Yeah. So the last one. Who's your Mount Rushmore of Canadian hoopers?
Ooh, Mount Rushmore. Steve Nash. Canadian hoopers? Wow.
Put you on the spot.
Leo Routen's on the Rushmore, though? Do I give Leo the Rushmore? Yeah, I guess. So Steve Nash, Leo Routen's, myself.
Okay. All right. I like
Eventually.
that. I like that. Okay. All right.
Who would be fourth? Wow. This is a tough one, bro.
That's what I'm here for. I'm trying to give you the hard-hitting question. You got Wiggins, you got Murray, RJ. I know he's still young, but you put.
I'd have to say Wiggins. Because he started the wave.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say he started the wave.
But it felt like that's when they started like taking to another level.
Exactly.
Like, because you had Steve Nash, but then you had a couple guys. But then when Wiggins came and he was number one, it felt like, okay, then it started taking off for sure.
I'd have to say Wiggins for sure then, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because Wiggins was his mixtape, his high school. I know it's mixtape, but, every time I see Ball's Life, they always say who has the best and he's always up there. And all these, like, who has the best mixtape ever. And he's always top 4 because his mixtape is – and I think that's what helped him, his stardom, like his praise. Like, that's when I heard of him. I was like, oh, he's nice. And he's still nice. I think people get on him way too much. They get on him way too much. Like, they trash him, like, because he didn't, quote unquote, live up to his, but he averaged 24 one year. And, like, I think expectations are just too crazy sometimes with some guys.
Yeah, but look, that's the thing, though. That comes with it, though. Like, you're the number one draft pick in the draft, bro. Like, you're the number one pick in the draft. Expectations are going to be there regardless. Like, there's LeBrons, there's John Walls, there's you know what I'm saying? There's endless number one picks that have been under scrutiny because they haven't done this or haven't done that. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of it. It's all about how you deal with it and do you continue to have a great career.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so before I let you go, last thing. What's the one thing you would tell an NBA GM, vice president, whoever's interviewing for the draft, and and they're asking you, what can you bring to our club? What are you going to tell them?
I'm going to tell them that you're going to get a guy that works his ass off every day, pushes his teammates every day, always looking to improve, and ultimately be a champion. Like, you're gonna get the championship standard from me, even though I haven't won a championship yet.
Yeah.
I feel like I know what it takes to win a championship. And you're gonna get a great character guy, honest guy, family guy that that brings nothing but good vibes and positive energy to their basketball organization.
That's dope. Isiaha, bro, I really appreciate you coming on, man. This was a fun interview, and like I said, I'm rooting for you big time. I hope for nothing but success for your future, man.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. So, like I said, man, continue success, and I'm gonna have this up soon, so I'll share it. And like I said, man, I'm looking forward to your career because there's a reason why I wanted you on. I loved your story, and I'm rooting for you big time. And you could ball, bro, and you could ball, man. And so, nothing but success, brother. So root for you big time.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
On that note, guys. Yep. On that note, guys, take care. I'll have the show up later. Follow me, Off the Ball Pod, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Go get your merch. I got you Off the Ball merch. Go get your merch. And I'll have the show up later. Show will be available on all podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcast, or Stitcher, Podbean. So check it out there. And on that note, guys, take care. Be safe, my man. All right, take care. Be safe for all the craziness going on. So take care, guys. Peace.
Peace.